test the students and they need to teach, right? And this can help with all of those jobs, but I think especially it's useful for helping teachers in terms of planning and in terms of training the students to become their own learners. The planning part, I mean, really what teachers need to do is organize the environment so that learning can take place. And what this does in terms of how it's structured, right, the four-stage structure over the course of the year, the daily tasks that students need to complete, all of this is really helping the teacher in terms of organizing what they're doing and in a sense realizing what's manageable, what's doable for students. So that's, I think, a really important part of how this can help teachers. Teachers can look to the structure here to help them structure their own teaching. And the other big thing, I think, is the training part. And I think that was probably your original purpose in doing a lot of this, was the idea that part of the teacher's job is helping the learners become effective learners, help them learn how to learn by themselves. And again, for the teacher, what the ELP provides is a really structured way to help guide students into making decisions about their own learning. You know, all these things are there, but the students have to fill in the details, right? The students have to decide what their daily tasks are. Students have to decide what they're going to write in, you know, this week's goals, right? And this is something that teachers and students can talk about. You know, what are you trying to learn this week? Here's what we're going to cover in the book. What's really important in this for you, right? So it forces the teacher to be clear about what are we accomplishing this week? And then the students need to think about, out of all of this, what are the things that I really need to work on? Where do I think I need to practice to get better, right? You know, so this kind of structuring, you know, the teacher can gradually essentially train the students into managing their own learning. I mean, I'm sure there are things, students at the beginning, that they have too many goals, right? And you know, the teacher can help them learn that, okay, in 1 week, what can you really do? What's manageable, right? And so all of this is providing a structured opportunity for teachers and students to talk to each other about learning and about how learning is going to happen for each individual student in the context of the class, right? Those are, I think, the two real high value things, is helping in terms of planning and training. But I think it helps in the other ways as well. In terms of teaching, right, there's a lot of little things that could be used from this as the basis of actual teaching practice, right? Every week's calendar has a little motivational quote, right? And a lot of these contain really useful language that students should learn, right? The essence of strategy is choosing what not to do, right? You can imagine teaching students that as a pattern, right? The essence of X is Y. And having the students create different kinds of fill-ins, right? Have them, you know, do sort of an erasure task, put the sentence on the board, have students erase it as they repeat it, so they learn the whole phrase, but then say, okay, now we're going to fill it in again, right? The essence of X is Y. You tell me the essence of play is having fun. The essence of, right, work is, you know, whatever, right? But having the students gradually master that pattern as a useful pattern of language for them. And it basically comes from here. It's something that, you know, you can show to the students and have them take these things and make them into their own language, make them into things that they can do, right? And so many of them never neglect an opportunity for improvement, right? Never neglect an opportunity for, okay, let's work on vocabulary. What can you put in there, right? And these are little 5-minute mini tasks that teachers can use. Right, so there's a lot of valuable language in here for actual teaching practice. And in terms of assessment, right, the ELP on its own provides a form of self-assessment for the learners. The learners can look at it and see, here's what I've learned, right? Here's what I've been doing. They should be able to look back and say, aha, I can fix that mistake now. And for the teacher, if the teachers collect these and look at them, they should be able to see the progress of their learners. This is, an ideal small-scale informal assessment tool that's really individualized to every student. So they can look at this and see, how is this student progressing? Right? What kinds of problems persist? What things have disappeared? Where is the student's learning in terms of the language the student produces in the planner, right? So to summarize, in terms of all 4 of Nation's tasks, right, for the jobs for the teacher, right, planning, right, testing, right, assessing, training, and teaching, this little book actually will help a teacher do all 4 of them and do them better than they would without it.